Welcome. In this tutorial, we are going to download VMware. You will first need to click the link in the description. Once on the VMware page, scroll down until you can see Try Workstation Player for Windows. Click Download now. You should then see VMware start to download. Once finished, you have now completed the download of VMware. Welcome. In this tutorial, we are going to install VMware Workstation on your PC. You will first need to find and open the file that we downloaded from the last video. Once the installer is visible, first click Next. Then tick that you accept the license agreement. And then Next. And then Next again. And Next once more. And Next finally again. You can now click the Install button. VMware will now start to install on your Windows PC. You have now completed the installation of VMware. Welcome. In this tutorial, we are going to download Home Assistant for VMware. The link can be found in the description. Scroll down the page until you see Install Home Assistant on Windows. Then click View Tutorial. Now click VMware Workstation. Home Assistant will now start to download. You have now completed the download of Home Assistant. Welcome. In this tutorial, we are going to set up our folder structure. You will first need to open your local disk. This is normally your C drive. Create a new folder and call it VMware. This can be done by right-clicking on the current folder. Then clicking New, then Folder. Once created, open the new folder. Now let's create another folder called Home Assistant, following same way as before. Once created, open the new folder. Now create a new folder called Downloaded. Once created, open the new folder. You now need to locate the Home Assistant file that you downloaded in the last lesson and copy it to the new downloaded folder that you created. Once the file has been copied over, right-click on the file and click Extract All. Remove everything after downloaded. Then click Extract. The files will start to unzip. You can delete the old zipped file. Now rename the file to Home Assistant. You have now completed the folder structure. Welcome. In this video, we are going to install Home Assistant within VMware. Start by clicking Create a new virtual machine. Checking that I will install the operating system later is selected, click Next. then select Linux. From the drop-down, select Other Linux 6 kernel 64-bit. Then click Next. Then call the virtual machine Home Assistant, same as you called the file in the last lesson. In the location, add the location from the last video we created. It should be the same as on screen. Now click Next. Change the maximum disk size to 32 GB and select Store Virtual Disk as a single file. Now click Next. Click Customize Hardware. First, change the memory to 2 GB. Then check that the number of processors is set to 2. On the Network Adapter section, select Bridged, connected directly to the physical network. Now click Close. And then Finish. Now open up the location of VMware that we created in the last video, as shown on screen. We are now going to copy the Home Assistant file that we created in the last video over the top of the Home Assistant file in this folder. Open the downloaded folder. And then copy the Home Assistant file by right-clicking and then click Copy. Now go back down a folder level to the Home Assistant folder. Then paste the file over the top by right-clicking and then by pressing Paste. It should now ask you if you want to replace the file. If you do not see this, it means the file in the downloaded folder is not named correctly. Now open the Home Assistant settings file in Notepad by right-clicking and then Edit in Notepad. Under Encoding, type firmware equals EFI. Then save and close the Notepad file. You have now completed the setup of Home Assistant in VMware. Now head back over to VMware and click Play Virtual Machine. Home Assistant should now start to load up within VMware. You have now successfully installed Home Assistant within VMware. We are now going to set up the Home Assistant interface. Insert your SD card or SSD into your Raspberry Pi, and then power up your device. Using your web browser, open the link in the description. Home Assistant will then begin to prepare your setup. This can take up to 20 minutes. Once the welcome screen appears, first click Create My Smart Home. We are now going to set up a new username and password. You will see that when you give the new user a name, you will see that it automatically copies to the username box below. You can choose to keep the same, or give it a different name if you wish. We are now going to set your home location. Within the search box, type your postcode and then click the search button. Once your location is set, click Next. Now, set whether you are happy for Home Assistant to share information anonymized. You will now see that Home Assistant has automatically added some of your devices from your network. These can be updated at a later date. You have now successfully set up Home Assistant on your Raspberry Pi. In this video, we are going to install the add-on called SSH Terminal. SSH Terminal is used to install the Home Assistant Community Store, also known as HACS. Once we have installed HACS, we will then be able to add the Octopus integration. First, click on your name in the bottom-hand corner. Then scroll down until you find Advanced Mode and toggle the slider. Now head over to Settings. Then click on Add-ons. Now click on Add-on Store. In the search box, type SSH. You will then see two options. Select the Advanced SSH and Web Terminal version. Now click Install. SSH and Terminal will now start to install. Once installed, please select and toggle Start on Boot, Watchdog, Show in Sidebar, and finally Protection Mode. You can leave Auto Update off. Now click on Configuration. We now need to apply a password. Select in between the quotes and add a new password. This can be anything you desire. Then click Save to save the password. Now click Info. You can now click Start. You have now successfully installed the SSH and Terminal add-on. To check if SSH and Terminal has installed successfully, click Terminal on the left-hand side. You now should be able to see the Welcome to the Home Assistant command line. Welcome to the next stage. In this video, we are going to be setting up a GitHub account. This will be needed for setting up the HACS integration. First off, let's head over to the GitHub website. A link can be found in the description. Once on the GitHub website, click the Sign Up button. This can be found in the top right-hand corner. Now enter your email's address. Once added, click Continue. Now let's set a secure password. When happy, click Continue. And finally, let's set up a username for your account. And then click Continue again. Then advise if you would like to receive emails about updated and announcements by typing Y for yes and N for no. Then click Continue. Now complete the puzzle on screen. This is to confirm you are not a robot. Once happy, click Submit. Then click Create Account. You will now be emailed a code. Please check your emails and enter the code on screen. Now fill in the details on screen and click Continue. Select if you are interested in using any of the on-screen features, then click Continue. Then select Continue for free. You have now successfully set up a GitHub account. Welcome to the next stage. In this video, we are going to be adding the HACS integration. To achieve this, you will need a GitHub account. If you do not already have one, please watch the previous video. First, click on the Terminal button. You will then need to copy and paste the link in the description onto the command line. To paste, you will need to right-click on the mouse and then press Paste. The shortcut, Ctrl+P, may not work correctly. When the install is completed, you will see the Remember to Restart message. Once finished, click Settings. Then click the hamburger icon in the top right-hand corner. Now click Restart Home Assistant. And once again, click Restart Home Assistant. And for the final time, click Restart. Home Assistant will now reboot. Once Home Assistant has rebooted, click on Settings. Then click on Devices and Services. Now click on Add Integrations. In the search box, type HACS. And then press the HACS button. Now tick each box to acknowledge that you accept each part. Then click Submit. Now open the link on a new tab. You can do this by right-clicking on the link, then pressing Open in New tab. You will now see that the link has opened in a new tab. We now need to add the code from Home Assistant. Going back to Home Assistant, copy the code and then add it to the GitHub page. Then click Continue. Now click Authorize HACS. You can now close the tab. Now select a room to add HACS to. Then press Finish. You have now successfully installed the HACS integration. It will be visible on the left-hand panel. Welcome to the next lesson. In this tutorial, we will install the Octopus integration into Home Assistant. First, head over and click the HACS button. Now in the search box, type Octopus. Select the Octopus Energy integration, making sure it's the one that says Unofficial Home Assistant Integration for Interacting with Octopus Energy. Then click Download. And click Download once again. The Octopus integration will begin to install. Once the screen disappears, we will need to reboot Home Assistant. We can do this by first clicking Settings. Then by clicking the Restart Required button. And then by clicking the Submit button. And finally, clicking the Finish button. Home Assistant will now reboot. Once Home Assistant has restarted, first go to Settings. Then click on Device and Services. Now click on Add Integration in the bottom right-hand corner. In the search box, type Octopus, and then select Octopus Energy. We now need to add our Octopus API key and account number. We can do this by clicking the link on screen. You will now need to log into your Octopus account. Now copy your API key. This can be done by clicking on it. Now go back to Home Assistant and paste your API key into the first box. We now need to get your account number. Go back to your Octopus account page. Click Menu, followed by My Account. Then copy your account number. Now head back to Home Assistant and paste your account number into the second box. Tick the box if you have an Octopus Home Mini, and then click Submit once completed. Now select a room, and twice again. You have now successfully added the Octopus Energy integration. You can now view your Octopus Energy details. Welcome. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to set up an Octopus target rate, where we find the cheapest 2 hours in 30-minute slots within 24 hours. First, click Settings in the bottom left-hand corner. Then select Devices and Services. Now click on the Octopus integration. Here is where all of your target rates will be stored. Scroll to the bottom of the page and select Add Entry. Then select Target Rate. Now give your target rate a name. Now add how many hours you require the integration to find the cheapest upcoming target rates. Please note this is in blocks of 30 minutes. Now select if you want this to be a continuous straight 2 hours, or intermittent, where it will find the cheapest 30-minute blocks to make up 2 hours. Now add the time when you would like the integration to start each day, and the same for when you would like it to end. Then submit. Then finally finish. Please note the integration only shows present and past targets. For the first time, will just show off. When you check back 24 hours later, you will then be able to see both off and on. Please note, as Octopus releases their new prices at 4 p.m. each day, we can only create targets that start after 4 p.m. and up to 4 p.m. the following day.